Hello once again, everyone. Original Blood Ace back again, and it's time to review Splatoon, or should I say Splata-tata-tata-tata Splatoon. So, there's a lot to go over in this review video. Where do we begin? Well, we're going to slightly tweak the formula for this review. Instead of simply listing pros and cons, I'm going to do story mode pros, story mode cons, online pros, and online cons. So, first of all, story mode pros. Fun factor right off the bat is there. No doubt about that. Next is the music. Again, catchy. Everyone who knows Splatoon, whether you've seen the commercial and you haven't played the game, whether you've played the game, whether you've heard of the name, you know the music. You know it's going to, trigger the memory in some way where you're like, ah, that music, yep, that's Splatoon, alright. Game trains you as you go in the story mode. You know what I mean by that is like it escalates. It starts off showing you the ropes as it should. It has a good progression system, I suppose, is the way to phrase it. The game trolls you, and now what I mean by that is the first four bosses are quite easy, and then, surprise, the last boss is tough as hell. I did get, even though it pissed me off, the fifth boss, or the boss of the game, I should say, I do enjoy a good troll attempt every once in a while. The boss designs were great, witty, clever, whatever you want to say, well designed. Simply put, well designed. The humor in the game, that's another pro. Whether it's with the Squid Sisters, the Captain Cuttlefish character, it doesn't matter. They make you laugh. Heck, even some of the bosses and enemies, just their little animations when you like shoot ink at them, and they're like all, oh, like you can't, or I can't believe you're shooting ink at me, and then they explode. You laugh from time to time, and that's always a plus. Um, Collectibles. Uh, I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to collectibles in a game. Normally, I don't care for finding collectibles in a game. It really has to come down to being what type of game it is. For example, if it's Zelda, then yeah, I try and go for every collectible. Or Banjo-Kazooie in the past, getting all those like puzzle pieces and the notes and stuff. But Hidden Scrolls were a nice collectible, so that's a pro. The upgrading system for your weapons and grenades and such and all that stuff. I mean, it wasn't anything fancy, but it was alright. It's nothing to take away from the game. So for the story mode cons, I really only got one con. The last boss battle was a bitch. And that's about the only con I got. The only other thing I could say as a con is maybe it could have been a bit longer for the story mode, maybe one more world. But, overall, for a new IP, the story was good. Now, let's get into the online pros, shall we? Uh, a fun new take on online shooters where it's not about kills is the first thing that comes to mind. It's very colorful. I mean, you can't argue that. It's just, I don't even know how many colors of paint you got. There's probably at least 10. Um, the music, again, we talked about this in the story, but the music is great. It's catchy, especially with them adding in new music, which, whether you like it or not, that's all opinion, but it's catchy and funky music all the same. Ranked. Let's talk about ranked. Uh, it's a neat but a tough game mode. I don't play it as much anymore. I mean, I've seen people who are like, oh, I'm B plus, I'm A plus. I'm still like C minus. No joke. I haven't played it enough. I got up to like a C plus, and then I started losing, and I was like, nah, it's not for me. It's not for me. Um, what else? What else? Rainmaker. Sorry, but I haven't actually played this yet, so I can't comment on it. I can say it looks neat though, and that's about as much as I can touch on the subject. Plenty of weapons and abilities in the game to mix up the gameplay. We can talk about that stuff. You got brushes, you got rollers, you got sniper type guns, you got machine gun type things, you got like almost like a grenade launcher type thing that shoots one shot and it goes pop and whatnot. I forget what those are called. You got lots of variety. The abilities, I kind of wish it was impossible to get the same ability twice on the same article of clothing. Like if you're like, oh, I got the base effect or the base ability on this shirt is defense up, and then oh, I got another ability. What is it? And it's defense up. I really think they should fix that though to make it so you can't. You can get two. I'm fine with you getting the same ability on two separate pieces of clothing that you're wearing, which because then you can mix and match. But I don't know. Splatfest is the last thing in the online pros that I want to touch on, but it's both a pro and a con is Splatfest. It's a con simply because the choices aren't always good, which in the new one coming up tomorrow is Transformers. I'm not a huge fan of Transformers. I don't mind it. I'll probably play it and record it, but will I, be excited that it's Team Autobots or Team Decepticons? It doesn't do anything for me. And I guess I'll tell you right now, I'm going to probably be Team Decepticon, just because I like being the bad guy, It's fun, as they say, nice guys finish last. Although I bet Optibot, or what do you call it? Autobots. I bet they're going to be the more popular one because everyone likes choosing the good guys. But yeah. So, it's back onto the point of it being a pro, though. Actually, there's one other thing I want to mention about it being a con, which is the prize for Splatfest, getting the super snail things, or sea snails. I find that that's not quite good enough as a prize, because all it does is let you reroll your abilities. Is it handy? Yes, but at the same time, once you've spent it, it's gone. You should actually get a reward that you get to keep, like the Splatfest t-shirt or an exclusive piece of armor goes to the winner. Or make it so in a Splatfest, there's like the prize is a full set of armor, like, a certain headpiece, a chest piece, and a, pair of shoes. And make it so if you win the Splatfest, if you're on the winning team, then you get the whole thing. But if you lose, then say you only get to pick one of the three pieces that you want. That would be more useful. Then you'd actually be getting something that you can use, and not just like, hey, I got some snails that I can use, and then maybe get something better as an ability, but maybe also get something worse. I just feel like it needs to have an actual prize, not just something that you use and throw away. It's like, I don't know. It's like winning a ticket that you can cash in to gain entry in the next Splatfest or something. It's not worth it. But Splatfest itself is fun, so we're talking about the pros of it now. Playing on the stages at night with glowing ink is great fun, and when you have a team that you actually gel with, it doubles the fun factor, because in one of my Splatfest videos when I was playing with, I can't remember their names now, crap, but you know who I'm talking about if you saw that video, where I didn't want to leave to switch up my weapons because I was doing well and having fun with my team. If you can get a team together, that really cements the true fun factor of Splatoon. But now let's get into the cons of online, and there's a few that I'm not going to lie. First thing I got written down here, you might get a laugh out of it, but Japanese players. Why can't we have a regional multiplayer mode like Mario Kart 8, where you can search regional only? That would be so nice. Now, I'm not saying I hate Japanese people, because I don't. I love them. Whether it's like on the show America's Got Talent, I always love their acts because Japanese people are always the crazy ones with new talent and, doing interesting new things. But when it comes to games, everyone knows Japanese gamers are OP. They're overpowered. They always destroy you. So that's why I'm just saying I would like a regional mode where we can play with North Americans only. Which is, I guess, another thing for Splatfest, which is ours are, they're region locked, basically. The next con for online is players are not playing the game right. Not everyone, but there are a huge chunk of people there who don't play Splatoon the way the developers wanted it to be played. Now what I mean is this is not COD or Halo or Battlefield or whatever. Kills don't matter. Yet so many people online just go for kills. They don't care about inking the level. I've been in games where people get like 12 kills and they had like 0 points for ink because they just don't go for inking anything. And it's like, it pisses me off. It simply does. I'm not saying that, don't get kills in the game, but if you see someone who's across the damn map on the other side, don't simply be like, hey, I'm just going to go all the way over there just to kill them, and then not shoot ink anywhere. You have to shoot ink everywhere. That's the point of Splatoon. It's a messy game. You shoot ink, end of discussion. If you're just going to play the game for shooting and killing, or I should say just killing, you're playing the game wrong. Seriously. And also, when say I'm running away and you're chasing me, fuck off. If I get away, I get away. Quit chasing me. But anyway, the online can cause rage. It points to my I point to my Splatoon broke my gamepad video for that. Nothing more needs to be said. Now, granted, that's not for everyone. Some people don't rage, some people do. We're not going to get into a huge debate about that. Map rotation is the next con, and some of you might understand what I'm saying. While I understand the point of map rotation, it sucks that every, 3 or 4 hours now, I forget if they reduced it to 3 hours, you get new maps, because they keep adding new maps, but which means you'll have to wait, or it'll be even harder to play certain maps. Say you want to play Walleye Warehouse, but with them adding more and more maps, the chances of that one map being in a 3-hour period rotation is less and less. So, my point is, it would just be better to have a voting system like Mario Kart 8, or something. Hell, even put in all the maps in a pool and have the game pick a random one. That would be fine. But, whatever. It is what it is. Another con, and this is more of a personal one for me, not like a critique on the game, but it started to get boring for me, Splatoon, already, which is a bit shocking, but I don't know why exactly either. I just find myself saying, or I don't find myself saying, hey, let's jump on Splatoon. Even with the new content, I'm like, meh. I'm already so far behind with weapons. Like, there's like a dozen weapons that I still haven't even bought yet on the game that came out like a month ago or more. So it doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't. And it seems like other than Splatfest, I just don't play the game. But anyway, no voice chat is the next con. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some people are going to say, blah, 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 that's a good thing, blah, 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 it's a bad thing. Whatever. I'm just talking about specifically one thing. Squad battles. Voice chat should be in the game for squad battles. It should be there as just an option in general. I understand that some people are like, I don't want to hear people. Then have it turned off on default and then let you turn it on. Again, simple as that. So those are the cons of online. I do have 3 bonus pro things that I wanted to state that don't fall under story or online. So the first bonus pro point I want to make is the game was made by guys who were trained by Miyamoto. That's a good thing. The game was targeting us 90s kids. That's a good thing. And the bonus pro 3, which I've kind of touched on already, is the game gets continuous new content. I don't really get motivated by it, but it's a good thing that the game gets it. And I do have one bonus con, though. And it's not a huge thing, it's just kind of an annoyance. But the breaking news bits are annoying whenever you turn on the game and you get greeted with Mary and Callie, is that their names? I forget. Always saying, breaking news, these are the fucking stages. It's like, they should be able to skip that. Just hit the start button or the A button or whatever and just skip through the whole thing. I guess that's about it. So I'm going to overall do my summary. I'm going to wrap it up here. Splatoon is a great new IP for Nintendo, there's no doubt about that. It brings a breath of fresh air into a genre that was way oversaturated last generation, and even into this generation, and was stuck with giving gamers a yearly generic shooter. Splatoon breaks that mold of shooters, and makes a shooter not about shooting people, but instead goes back to the days of the 90s with making a mess everywhere. Like the old show, now this is a Canadian show I'm pretty sure, so you might not know it, but you can look it up on YouTube, look up the intro video or whatever. It was called Uh-Oh, and it was a kid game show, and it was all about like, it was like a messy thing where you got like colored goop dumped on your head and stuff like that, and that's what Splatoon kind of, in a way, reminds me of. So, my score for Splatoon is, it's going to be a solid 8 out of 10. I feel that's quite the fair score. It's not a perfect game. It's not like Game of the Year. I know some people might say it is, but for me, again, even though it's not out yet and I haven't played it yet, Star Fox Zero, like I've said, is locked in as my Game of the Year. That's not going to change. But anyway, Splatoon, it's not perfect. It has some issues here and there, but pretty much every game that's not Ocarina of Time does. But for a new IP, it's a solid one. It's a new solid game and a new solid franchise. So that'll do it for this video. I'm Original Blood Ace, as always. Thanks for watching, or listening, I suppose. We'll see you in the next video.